Hey Peeps, welcome to NasTime. It's a big one for me. I don't reckon there's enough innovation in Australia when it comes to four-wheel drive products. Now, I'm down here at the Brisbane 4x4 show. I've come across Outback Kitters. This is Mike here with me, and he's come up with some good ideas. And in particular, I got caught out by these molly panels. Really nifty little design. They look pretty flash. You know, I'm building a camper trailer, so I reckon I'm going to be able to incorporate some of that build into this. So, Mike, how are you?
Yeah, awesome. Look, day 3 of the show. It's been a long one, but it's actually been awesome. Really cool show. So, Outback Kitters, a bit of a preface for that is we specialise in manufacturing and distributing American truck accessories, right? So we do everything for the Chevys, Rams, F-trucks. It's a scene that I've been in for 8 years, so well before they became a thing in Australia. I've gone through multiple tub setups. I've had the Canopy, I've had the tub rack, the tub topper. I really like having the factory style side tubs, and what I was trying to do is find a solution to store all our essential non-essentials.
Yeah.
So this is, you know, your sunscreens, your bug repellents, your first aid kits, whatnot, and we kind of came up with a whole range of concepts around the molly panel side of things.
Yeah.
Now, molly panels aren't anything new. They've been around for a while. They're huge in the American industry over there. But what we wanted to try to do is, more than just create a panel, is try to create a whole ecosystem around attachments and storage ideas.
Something like this, I reckon I can incorporate on the inside, maybe on the outside of the new camper trailer build. For me, it's all about being organised when you get out camping, and I like to be organised. A little bit of OCD, whatever there. So, big range of products that can fit onto these molly panels. They're so versatile. You can get, you know, pockets from just about anywhere. Really match them. I'm looking at building a kitchen as well, so looking at how I can incorporate these different products and these different systems. Absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely. So Make Designs is the brains behind this whole new range of product, this whole new business of what we're doing. So Make Designs is not just the American vehicle market. We've now gone and we've got stuff for the Hilux and the Range and all the domestic vehicles, but it's sort of spiraled into something else, because as we found that we needed good versatile storage ideas, we came up with the home panels. Now, I've got this at home above my barbecue. That's where I have all my utensils. This one's in our garage as well, and this is where we store all of our other items that it's very easy for us to unclip, take it into our vehicle and clip it back on. So we've been very intuitive having a clip system for the bags, different sizes, different colours. It just means that we can have a bag for absolutely every application.
Yeah.
But weirdly enough, it then now started to fall into the caravan market as well.
Yeah.
So I've got a big Lotus caravan, and I put one of these panels in the inside of the toolbox doors.
Nice.
Again, I needed a place for my drill and the drill bits to sit, so I can easily go and do all the stabilizer legs. I think this is just the absolute beginning around the innovation of where this product can take us.
Exactly, and that's what I love. I just like to be organised, like I said, and having the different colours is definitely an added bonus for identification, basically. So let's have a look at some of the other products that he's got available too.
A good way of how we've laid out the Make Design stands was very application specific. So this is your recreation, right? So it's all your sand toys, sunscreen, inflatables, whatnot, that can be stored in here. This is for your trade and your mine. So we've had a lot of excitement in the mine spec world. You know, they want a place to put all their cones and safety equipment. Tactical is an area that we think that this can also expand into. We know the Americans love their guns and whatnot, but what we've built is certain attachments and mounts for guns, torches, grenades. Well, no, not right, quite the grenades yet, you know. But yeah, realistically, like, again, we're at the forefront of how we're going to be building these out. We've probably got a massive pipeline of well over 100 accessories and attachments. So it's just going to be something for everyone.
And I'm really impressed with this clip system. I actually didn't realise that was there. So there's just an added bonus for me to be able to remove it quite quickly, because we know, like the molly panels, they can get a bit fiddly putting them on. Once they're on, they're fantastic. But if you've got a quick release system, I said it's absolutely fantastic. But you've got a lot more products.
Absolutely. So we'll take you back to the forefront of the business being Outback Kitters, right? And this is the American truck side of things. We obviously have the Silverado 2500 on display here. You know, you've got our bull bars, our roof racks, obviously the suspension that we do, a lot of BDS suspension and Fox out of the United States. And obviously this has been a big part around, you know, what we started to build. Like, we're seeing this American truck industry really grow here in Australia. Domestic tourism is on the rise, and it remains that way, which is really nice. So obviously we just want to help enable people to travel. And
of course, I think for me, I'd expect that the American truck market it's a higher end vehicle really, so they're looking for high quality and stuff as well.
Absolutely.
So you can't kind of cheap out on the product. So I think I'm at that stage in my life where quality starts to become a bit more important than price.
Yep.
You know, like we're not saying that the prices I imagine are reasonable, but really you've got to look at quality first. And you're going off road, it's a given.
Yeah, look, and there's been a few attempts from some of the cheaper Asian markets to bring a lower quality product over here, but it just doesn't suffice in our standards, you know. So for us, even when we look at our bull bars, you know, we have 7-ton rated recovery points, you know, provisions for a 17,000 pound winch. Obviously, airflow is a really big thing on these American trucks, so there's a lot of people who are a bit hesitant to get into the American space, but it's something that I live and breathe, and I really understand the intricacies, and unfortunately, it's from a lot of mistakes in the past, but you know what? The best innovation comes from learning from your mistakes.
That's it. Rack system, you've got a pretty impressive looking rack system up here.
Yeah, so these are the Adventure Rails Max. Now, early days, you know, Rhino and Yakima and a few of those other platform companies, they didn't really have platforms to suit, so I'd get a lot of overhang on either the side or the fronts. So what we try to do is build these are our Adventure Rails Max. So it does have an integrated crossbar system. It sits relatively low. We do have our platform plates, so they sit on top there as well, just to give additional storage options or mounting options for things like your Max tracks or whatnot. But a big part around what we try to do is making usable features, right? Having downward-facing lights is really important for us, because for me, when we go out camping, I don't need light 400 metres out in the neighbour's campsite. I need it beside the vehicle, and that's where it's probably the most important.
Yeah, and I was actually walked past and saw the integrated lights, and I'm like, how... They're part of the rack. They're not like an add-on. They're just, you know, he's going to catch on things, and you know, and I have that. Like I've got the, you know, spotties on the side of mine, and they do tend to kind of get blocked by the awning as well, because they're not pointing down. Essentially, like I can adjust them and that, but then it's like a big light. It's just an overkill for what I kind of need. So having something like that, you know, I hope some more companies come out with, you know, something for a BT50 at some point. But
we get
maybe not
a
here,
lot on the domestic market, you know, and right now there's a few new vehicles in the American space to come through. Will I get into the domestic market? I guess you'll just have to watch this space.
Yeah, but hopefully there's some others listening to it as well. Now, at the back of the Canopy as well, we've got some good ideas as well, so let's have a look at that.
The Silverado's had a little bit of a makeover. Previously had a tub rack and a roller cover system as well. It worked fantastic. The preface of that is we needed to have a tinny when we did our Cape trip. We moved to a rooftop tent. For us, as my family has personally grown, and also what we're seeing in the marketplace around the growth of the touring market is these canopies. So the guys at RSI Smart Cap, they were generous, you know, with us to work out a deal. We've got one of their canopies on the back. It enables so much extra storage space into the back there. We can put all of our motorbikes in the back as well without having to not be able to close the roller cover. Now, with that, obviously it houses the Bush Company tent and awning. It's a nice big tent, it's heavy, but you know what, for these American trucks, it's absolutely lightweight work for them.
And again, me, something simple, but I just love the storage. They've integrated the Molly panels in there, and I said I just can't talk enough about getting organised. And you know, the better organised you are, the better camping you're going to have. So quite simple. Now another one we're quite interested in for pretty much anybody, not just American trucks. We've got a good range of tyre pressure. Now I know you went over these yesterday, but I don't remember a lot of it. So
no, so look, Apex Designs is a very innovative brand out of Utah in the United States. It's been around for about 4 or 5 years now. Really clever stuff. Now, obviously, airing down, there's always multiple solutions on what you do through here. So I'll quickly run you through a few of the options. What we've got in the first one here, Nas, so this is the flip to deflate cap. It's very similar to, say, your Storm tyre deflators. It's a cap that flips on, turns it around the other way, and then you put this back in, and that'll start to air down. On average, you're probably looking at about 1.5 to 2 minutes. It's a cool unit. Obviously, it's a low-cost budget item, something for almost like your trailer that goes behind you. Another popular option is you've got some of the big brands out there. They have a deflator valve that you wind on, you push the core in and remove the core out, and then you go and release it to deflate your tyres. It's a very rapid tyre deflation method. The problem and the painful part of that is you got to do that for each wheel.
Yeah.
So this is called the RCV, the Rapid Connect Valve. Now what this does is, comes with a little tool. You're going to remove that core once and then screw this on, and that tool you flip that around to secure it on as well, so no one can steal this. So this is really cool if you don't want to remove the tyre and pop the bead and change out the valve stem. And like as you can sort of see here, we'll go from like 60 down to 50 psi. All you do is you lift this tab up. There you go. So in a matter of seconds, you've gone down 10 psi.
So they literally just stay on each tyre?
That just stays on each tyre. Now, a lot of people are putting that, obviously, if they don't want to remove the tyre, swap out the valve stem. Very popular in the caravan and camping world as well, so just for the trailers or your boats. But the creme de la creme, and this is the product that Paul from Apex, when he designed it, he filed the patent straight away across multiple countries because you know it's going to be an absolute game changer. This is called the RPV, the Rapid Precision Valve. Now this is, you remove the valve stem and there's nothing that airs down like this anywhere else in the world. So it does have a beautiful little red tab, and we'll go from 50 down to 20 psi. We'll time that here. There you go, guys.
No
matter
way.
of seconds. So the challenge of what we're finding people to do is they come through and they pre-undo all the caps, and then what they do is they pull the tab from the, one of the wheels, and they undo the tabs at all. Then they go and close them all up without over deflating as well. So a really cool and innovative product, right? And I guess this is the one that's just going to get you onto the trails.
Yeah.
The only problem is we probably got to do some deals of like you buy something, all your mates get a discount as well, because what ends up happening is we're down in record time, and then I've almost got to pull the camp chairs out and wait for my friends to get out on the beach. So,
well, you're cooking dinner because the first one to finish is preparing the meals.
Yeah, I know, right? And so that's unfortunate. Well, when you got the kids, though, sometimes it's a better thing to do.
Yeah.
But this is a really cool, innovative product. But Apex Designs isn't all just about deflating your tyres. They've got some other really cool products, and one being the compact hose reel. So this is the CRS. So this gets mounted into various places in your vehicle, and I've got one in the back of the Silverado. It comes with a 6 or a 10 metre hose reel. The 10 metre hose reel is perfect if you've got a big American truck or if you're towing. Or if you have one of those stingy mates that doesn't have a onboard compressor and you need to pump their tyres too. So quite simple is you rotate this to loosen it, and it comes all the way out. And then when you are winding it back up, you're just pulling that back in. Now, very awesome product. There is some really good patent documentation around how he designed it. The inner bearings out of this makes it such a smooth operation. But the big thing for me was the hassle of having to pull out hose line and have air inflation kits with Outback Kitters, which are fantastic, but having to put it all back in a box gets a little bit painful. This has been probably the most touched product on our stand. Everybody wants to touch and feel, see how this thing works. So.
And again, that was the other thing that caught my eye when I walked past, because I've actually got my hose set up. It's actually hidden, but it takes up way too much space in there, right? So I'm losing precious storage essentially.
Yep.
So, I mean, this looks really good.
Yep.
I love the look of it. It's going to be a lot lighter than what I'm using as well, and even though it's like a plastic rubber hose and stuff, I do get a bit concerned about the rubber hose because you are on rough ground, so it's always something that worries me, and I don't carry a spare hose because the whole point of setting something like this up is so you don't have to carry hoses. So something like that just seems a lot better protected, a lot smarter, looks smart.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just...
Look, it's a great product. Obviously, the way Paul sourced the materials for this, the outer braiding hose, that's going to keep it nice and strong in the years to come. Yeah. It can be mounted outside. So when I had the tub rack, that was mounted on the side of the tub rack. Went through the Cape, went through the high country. Absolutely no dramas when it comes to dirt, water, dust, rain, all that stuff. Yeah. So. A really cool product, and obviously the 6 metre one is compact yet again. So there are some other...
so that's the 10 metre?
That's the 10 metre one.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
So,
more than small enough for me.
yeah, look, and honestly, that's more than adequate as well. Especially again, you've got your trailer that you go take out with you as well. So I'd probably go the 10 metre for you.
Yeah.
And obviously, there's other features of this. There's multiple different mounting brackets. You'll find that you've got all these beautiful fittings as well that aren't like a cheap product for them to go and design. The hosing even is really nice as well. Like it's almost pinch proof as well.
Yeah.
So as you're dragging that around your tyres to go around your vehicle, you're not getting pinched. So it's almost like the perfect solution.
Yeah, fantastic.
I don't have the products on display here as well because I really wanted to showcase the major ones that Apex does, but they've got some really innovative products around the sway bar disconnect. So they've got stuff for your Toyotas and your Jeeps. So they've got the air links. It's like a variable sway bar control. You can inflate the air links, so it's the sway bar links up to 300 psi, make it nice and firm, so that way when you're on the highway you've got the best control. Then you can also dump that psi. You're going to have about a 75% more articulation. They got the quick links for the Toyotas as well, and the auto links for the Jeeps. And again, simple turn of a knob or pull of a handle, and you've got full articulation at the front end. So we all know when you're going wheeling, which you're not, too accustomed to, right? Is you want to make sure that all your front wheels are staying on the ground for maximum control.
Yeah. There you go, guys. Absolutely fantastic. Really appreciate it, Mike, and thanks for showing us around. Obviously, we're here at the Brisbane 4x4 show. You probably missed this one, but these guys are based in Brisbane, and no doubt they do supply all around Australia. So check them out, guys. Look up the website. I'll put a link down below, and we're checking out from the Brisbane 4x4 show. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks, peeps.